Greetings from Hannover. We are in the booth of our customers, Keyfactor. We're talking to Johannes Goldbach. Welcome. You've been here for several days. What are some of the common trends we see in industrial cybersecurity from your perspective, the customers you talk to?
So what you can see here generally, it's like it doesn't matter where you are. It's all about connectivity. It's all about data. It's all about knowing. It's like this, what in the past was this industry 4.0. It's now starting to really develop into something, and it's really interesting if you look into the setup of the, let's say, exhibitor halls. The digital part changed in the last years drastically. It's, let's say, I remember 2019 was a lot about 5G trends, about connectivity. Now it's more about what we do already when we have that in place.
Right, and the benefits of it, yeah.
What we see here, as we are like basically, we are the cybersecurity area, is basically between digitalization and, let's say, connectivity. Mm-hmm. And this is really, you can see that people who pass by here, their thoughts is, okay, we have these systems in place, we have our machines talking, we have our OT, IoT talking, we have devices, but we didn't think about the security yet. And this is something that we really, when people stop by and says, yes, true, we have a small 5G network in our private one, but how do we really secure it? Or we are delivering devices into certain, let's say, industries, and they require from us to be secure. How do we do that? And this is really what is really the, I would say, the core of what was the talks this week, basically.
Got it, thank you. So connectivity, security is very important. Maybe explain a little bit to the audience from your perspective the state of the security in manufacturing as you've talked to the customers this week.
Yeah. So let's say the awareness is rising currently, but the state of the security is like everybody says, yes, we know we have to do something. Some that are advanced, they already did something, but there are so many angles to security and product security especially, that they are not sure what is the right steps to go. So people know, but they don't know how often. So, and they know they need to do something, but they don't know where to start. And that it depends a bit on, from organization to organization, who is actually like early adopters, already having concepts ready, already having everything operational, which is like all the, let's say, new things are coming, they're ready for this. But some, they are even struck by sudden pushes from their markets where they deliver to. And this is like, especially in the EU now addressed also by exactly regulations, product security standards, and they are really a bit like, oh my God. For example, a good example is, and this is, it's not only in the manufacturing industry, so to secure secrets, you use hardware security modules, right. Where you, for example, we have public key infrastructure, the asymmetric encryption, you have the public key and the private key. The private key should be always secured in a hardware security module, and the root of it should be offline, so nobody can touch it, because this is the key to all your secrets when the data is in transit. And if you ask, do you have a hardware security module? The answer is, we thought about it, but it's very expensive.
Right.
Yeah?
So for the folks in the audience, obviously you have people that are aware that they need security, they don't know where to start. Is there a sort of a resource, a tool that may give them a sort of assessment that, hey, or a benchmark in how secure is your product that you're leveraging in the factory, or quick assessment or anything like that?
So let's say the general thing is, let's say what gets to us is there is like companies that do really deep dive pen testing.
Sure.
And you see then the vulnerabilities, you know what is vulnerable. Like an example, for example, you have a device. The device is in the field, somewhere outside. Nowadays, a hacker can easily, if there is not a clear, secure connection, can easily say, hey, I'm this device, and reach into the networks of the organization applying this device. Mm-hmm. So you can fake the identity of the device if you don't have a bulletproof identity. Mm-hmm. The thing is so it's more like, this is like the situational assessment. So you really see how is it in my case. But you can also, the way how to go there is to follow standards. There is things like the CAP forum, there are things, organizations like NIST, ENISA, BSI that have done a lot of work on creating standards.
So NIST in the USA, and then the BSI you mentioned, that's the European or
BSI
German?
is the German one, and ENISA is the European cybersecurity. So, and then there is, like, let's say, contributing organizations that are sometimes, for example, we have the PKI, well, the PKI consortium, which is the group of experts, vendors, organizations that are working all together on a safer today and tomorrow, you know. These there's basic guidelines to follow, and there's also experts that know them by heart. We have experts in our company, but we've also in the partner landscape. We have people. If you ask them this and this standard, they have this like a checklist in their brain, and they can go and sit down with any organization, manufacturing company, to say, to have your product ready for this market, for these security levels, you need to do this. It's clear guidance, clear checklists. With what you are, it's not like if you've done this, you are kind of like compliant. It's like really, then the probability that something will happen to you and to your product. You will be not the one the next day, the one who's in the news when something happens. And this is the thing. So mitigate by proven standards and proven best practices. And best practices is the thing. It's not only a standard, it's a best practice, a proven concept.
Thank you for those insights. Now, you've also mentioned that, again, some of the folks are still looking what to do. What are some of the things that you think should be done to accelerate the rate of adoption? Is it more regulation, forced regulation?
I think that the regulations are just triggers. So there are things, okay, to show you need to do something.
Sure.
But the other thing is, so you have in every sub-industry, let's say in every, for example, special manufacturing groups, special industries selling to, where manufacturing companies are selling to. A really nice example is, for example, the smart metering industry in Austria. They have a recommendation paper. They hired an agency, an expert agency, and all the utility companies that were concerned by this created a paper based on recommendation of NIST, of the BSI, of ENISA, I think also, to say this is the way how we should secure devices in a smart metering scenario, or the Matter initiative. So if you have smart home, there is a certification. I'm not an expert there, but there is like the Matter PKI. So identities in a household for smart home, they need to authenticate or validate against a given vendor database. And we see these trends not only in these fields, it's going now further, that there is the need for this to have, it's the concept of the passport basically. So when you go, your passport, you go to the airport, you put it on, it's checked, is this passport issued by a trusted country or is it not? That's the point. So to create trusts, let's say verification areas, and this is something that every industry should talk to each other. Use forums, use that to see where is the security, what do we need, and follow the best practices. Always following back to the existing best practices. It's very easy.
Anything that you want to leave the audience, or you think it's going to happen over the next 12 months in the industrial cybersecurity?
So from our point of view, if you say identities, and we are in our sphere is basically the data in transit, secure communications. And what's happening now already is exactly what I mentioned earlier. It's like, get ready to have secure identities and secure connectivity. And when we look past the 12 months, we have now here, when you were in Hannover, there's 2 halls now, one or 2 halls about quantum computing. When those things get into the field, we don't know when. We have experts in our company that say also they are cryptographic experts. They're working on the new algorithms and so on. So they say, we don't know when this will happen, when somebody has the hands on such a device that can decrypt communication or even data and rest, data in transit that is now already captured. You can now hack yourself somewhere in a communication, but you cannot read it. But in that day, when somebody gets the hands on those devices, we will all wake up and the world will be different. And this is the thing, the trend in the next 12 months will be prepare for, not for post-quantum readiness yet, but for crypto agility. Meaning, be ready if something happens, to go to the next level. Prepare yourself for the next level. And this is happening already now and will happen in the next 12 months, 24 months, and 36 months. in my opinion.
And if somebody's in the audience, maybe I know most of the people would know who Keyfactor is, but maybe give a 30-second pitch. What exactly Keyfactor does, and how does it help the folks in manufacturing?
Yes. Keyfactor is a market leader in digital identities and providing security by providing solutions for issuing those identities, but also managing these identities. So every secure connection, every secure communication, and if you think in the world of a lot of devices that you're using today, those companies leverage Keyfactor to secure their products and secure the communication of their products. And this is what Keyfactor is doing.
Thank you so much. And if you're in the audience, have questions, feel free to leverage the hashtag or stop in here for another half a day in Hanover. Or better yet, join us next month at the manufacturing days, and somebody on Keyfactor's team will be there to answer questions.